Good morning, guys. Welcome to Liverpool FC Journal. I'm M.W. James. This is your Liverpool news update. It is match day. We are playing Inter Milan in the Champions League tonight, at the San Siro, and what will be an exceptionally tough game. But what the hell is going on? I mean, seriously, what the hell is going on at this football club at this moment in time? It's descending into just absolute chaos, absolute farce on a galactic scale. It's almost to the point where we're actually making Manchester United post Alex Ferguson look organised and look like they had a vision of what they were actually meant to be doing. It's just getting beyond a joke now. It really is. You look at it, the fan base massively divided on this. You've got fans playing the race card, which I'm sorry, if you're playing the race card, grow the fuck up. Seriously, grow up. Grow up. It's got nothing to do with race or skin colour or religion at all. So please don't bring that into this. If you are doing that, then you are stoking the flames and you are making this a very dangerous situation, and you need to stop now. Carragher obviously waded in last night, calling Mo Salah a disgrace. Some fans have obviously welcomed Carragher's comments. Others have publicly criticised Carragher. Look, whatever you think. Connor Cody also this morning as well condemning Salah for what he did. Look, I honestly, look, before anyone gets on my back about this, I am not for Slot to stay. I think Slot should go. I think his record is absolutely shocking. We've lost 43% of our games since that PSG defeat. We are in 10th place below Everton and Manchester United in the Premier League at this moment in time. The form is absolutely disgusting. I don't think putting Salah back in would actually make us win. I think it would actually make us worse. But Mo Salah coming out and doing what he did post Leeds was out of order. It was ridiculous. No player should ever come out and throw a club, and it's what he did. He threw the club under the bus. Look, Salah FC. This is the issue that gets to me. There are way too many fans out there that think that Mo Salah is bigger than this football club, and he so isn't. He just is not. This football club was great before Mo Salah. It will be great after Mo Salah, which I think may happen in January. Did you ever hear Kenny Dalglish, Steven Gerrard, Ian Rush coming out and behaving like this? Real Liverpool legends? No, you didn't. So please don't bring that one into it. The comments for me post-match by Salah on Saturday were very much me. I've done this, I've done that, I deserve this, I deserve that. It wasn't about the team. It wasn't for the good of the team. It was for the good of Mo Salah. And there are way too many fans that just can't see that. Just genuinely can't see that, or are just blind to it because of what he's done previously. Yes, Mo Salah has been a great player for Liverpool. Yes, Mo Salah played a large part in winning the title last season. He didn't single-handedly win the title. That is a ridiculous comment to make, because there were 10 other players on the pitch at the same time as him. Alisson and Kamin Kelleher keeping clean sheets. The defence keeping it tight at the back. Maka, Sobbo, Gakpo, Diaz supplying him with chances. Darwin Núñez, Diogo Jota's key goal against Everton. All these things contribute to a title win. It's not one man's contribution. So let's get rid of that ridiculous bollocks straight away. At the end of the day, like I said, what Salah did post that game was out of order. And the biggest comment that he made, and I think a lot of the Salah FC fans don't seem to understand this, is he came out with the comment that he doesn't think that he should have to fight for his place. He thinks he has a divine right to start every game because of what he's done previously. Well, by that argument, then, Steven Gerrard should start tonight for Liverpool. By that argument, Kenny Dalglish should be up front against Brighton with Ian Rush. Absolutely ridiculous comment from Mo Salah. Absolutely stupid comment. At the end of the day, you are picked on form, whether you are Mo Salah, Erling Haaland, Cole Palmer, whoever you are picked on form. Whether you're Rafinha for Barcelona, whether you're Vinicius Junior for Real Madrid, Jude Bellingham, whoever you are, you're picked on form. You're not picked on your name or your reputation or what you've done previously. That is absolute bollocks. And Salah, like that comment for me just shows, and Salah FC fans, wake up. It's about him. He doesn't give a fuck about you. He's all about him. It's all about Mo Salah. That's what it's about for me. I thought Arne Slot, look, like I said, I'm not pro Slot. I thought he dealt very well with the questions last night at the press conference. And Liverpool obviously leaving Mo Salah at home, which they've got to do. Mo Salah has put the club and Slot in that position. At the end of the day, what else could they do? If they come and they bring Salah to Milan tonight and they start him and play him, well, it looks like the manager has just backed down to the player and player power has won. And the club obviously looks very weak on that aspect. So, look, that it had to be done to that degree. It had to be done. Now, whether you agree with that or disagree with that, there is little to no choice about that. It had to happen because of the fact, like I said, that the club and the manager cannot appear weak. Something that Arne Slot was at pains to point out in that press conference that he gave. In terms of, I think he talked about. He was asked, has Salah played his last game for Liverpool? Well, he said, honestly, I don't know. I think part of that he does know. I mean, let's face it, he does know. It's up to him to pick the team. I think obviously part of it is obviously down to whether Salah wants to play again. I agree with that comment, but he does know whether Salah's played his last game for Liverpool. Look, I'll be honest with you. I think from within the club, I thought this is not me supporting this. This is me just pointing this out. Something that's obviously misconstrued by Player FC, no doubt. But Michael Edwards, Richard Hughes did not want to renew Mo Salah's contract. I honestly feel that there was a move within the club to make this club younger. You look at the signings we've made over the summer, they're very young players. They're young, up-and-coming, developing players, very much in the peak or around the peak of their careers, 20, 23, 24, 25. They wanted to decrease the age of the squad. Salah being 33, obviously. I think there was a move to perhaps not renew his contract to allow him to leave at the end of last season, but the pressure from the fans was so great that Michael Edwards, Richard Hughes realised that if they didn't renew the contract of Salah and give him what he wanted, there would have been a huge, huge uprising against them. And I think they obviously played the card of shit. We need to try and keep the fans on side with this one. I think now Salah's given them the opportunity to actually, be sold through A, his form this season, which has been really bad, and B, these comments. He's put the ammunition in the gun for Michael Edwards, and Michael Edwards is going to fire it. We know that. I think there's a strong likelihood that Mo Salah goes in January to one of the Saudi clubs. A huge likelihood that he goes, or even to one of the MLS clubs. That's a potential. A number of sources this morning saying that it is going to be done. He will be sold. Some people will say this is sensible business by the club, getting 70, 80 million pounds for a player who's, effectively, his legs are gone. And he's not the same player as he was last season. You can see that in the way he plays. Forget this, he's run further than everyone else. Well, yeah, a donkey can run. At the end of the day, it's what he's done with the ball when he's got it. He's blown the ball over the bar countless times. His assists are down, his goals are down, and he's not playing anywhere near what he was playing last season. Now, I'm going to say this, and I'll say it again. If Mo Salah was in the same form last season as he is this season, he would not be dropped and he would not be being sold. That's a fact. So I think that's one clear thing. At the end of the day. But look, do I trust Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards? Probably not. I don't think they've covered themselves in glory over a lot of things. I think they're obviously a lot of pinch of salt with what they're doing. But we have to kind of deal with what we're dealing with. And what I've said a number of times on social media, on these channels, on this channel, and I'll say on any channel is, you're either pro Slot, pro Salah. No, you're not. You're either pro Salah, pro Slot, or you're for Liverpool Football Club. And I, for one, am backing the football club. I'm not backing Salah. I'm not backing Slot from what it's worth. I think both of them need to go. I think Salah needs to be sold in January. I don't care what he's done previously. He's sold because of those ridiculous comments that he's made. He's behaved like a child. He needs to go. And just the one thing I'm going to say is this, guys. If you did what Mo Salah did at your place of work, if you came out and publicly slaughtered your boss to all and sundry, you would get the sack or you would get a disciplinary. So please don't play this card of, Salah's got every right to make these comments, because and I know in the workplace for a business, you can't. You would get the sack if you did what Salah did, or you'd get a disciplinary. So let's get that clear. Look, as for tonight, obviously lots of injuries, or very much a weakened travelling squad heading out to Inter Milan. Obviously, no Cody Gakpo, which will obviously make a fair few fans very, very happy. No Chiesa, no Endo, for instance, all injured. Obviously, Salah hasn't travelled either. This is going to be a really interesting concept for me to how Mo Salah puts together this. Arne Slot puts together this team for this game against Inter Milan tonight. Which, look, let's be absolutely clear on this, is going to be an exceptionally tough game. Inter Milan are a very, very good side, You look at the players that has been named in this travelling squad that have headed out. It's Alisson, Gomez, Van Dijk, Kanate, Kirkes, Wirtz, Szoboszlai, Isak, McAllister, Bradley, Jones, Ekitike, Mamalashvili, Robertson, Woodman, Gravenberg, Nioni, Ngamoa, and Lucky, who is a defender, a very promising young defender coming through the ranks. I mean, look, I think Bradley will have to start tonight. He is out of the Brighton game of the weekend with suspension, so he will play. My personal opinion is that he will go in with some sort of, I'm not quite sure what the formation would be. He talked last night about playing a diamond in midfield, a 4-4-2 effectively. I think tonight, if we're going to go strongest possible team we've got for this game, and look, any Reds fans saying, "Oh, I hope we get a beat tonight just so we can get rid of Slot," look, grow up. You never hope for your team to lose. That's just ridiculous. I think Alisson will be in goal. I think back four will be Bradley. I'd like to see Gomez alongside Van Dijk. I think Slot may be considering it, given the comments that he made about Kanate on Saturday about him always being at the scene of the crime. Maybe that was the straw that broke the camel's back for me, maybe. So I would like to see Gomez alongside Van Dijk. I think we go with Robertson at left back because I think Robbo will bring that experience and leadership in a very tough environment. I then think we go with a midfield three, obviously, I think he'll go with Maka. I think he'll go with Gravenberg and I think Curtis Jones will start as well. I thought Curtis actually was one of the better players on Saturday. He drove the team forward, played well, never hides. I like Curtis Jones. I think the front three he'll go with his Szoboszlai on the right, Isak up top, and I think Ekitike on the left. I think that could be something we see tonight. And that team that 4-3-3 can effectively morph into a 4-4-2 diamond with Gravenberg at the base, Maka and Jones either side, and Szoboszlai as a front, or Sobbo and Jones either side with Maka. It can rotate and move around and give a bit of fluidity. I think that's what we may well see in tonight's game. Like I said, it will be exceptionally tough. This is a very good team we're playing tonight. Inter Milan, they're no mugs. But look, no matter what, Liverpool fans, Liverpool players have got to put behind what's happening at this moment in time, put the chaos behind us. Don't give opposition fans fuel to come and have a go and just take the piss. Get behind the team tonight. I hope we can get a result. No matter what it means, guys, it's all about winning. At the end of the day, it's about winning and getting that result. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching Liverpool FC Journal. If you've liked the content, please obviously like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you on the next one.